Hi guys, this is the one who's switching me here back to the video. And yes, I have been gone for a month. I know. I'm just not. I know I don't receive any criticism from the comments, but it is better to apologize before people start coming at me unexpectedly, because it could happen at any moment. But there's basically two explanations why I haven't been posting. The first one is I've been lazy and didn't feel like dealing with YouTube. And the second thing was I kind of got dared by a friend to wait till I got 100 subscribers to post another video and to see how long it would take me. Now, right now I got 98 subscribers. So, I mean, I'm having a 100 subscriber special, which is going to be an hour-long video, which will probably be the ending of this story. So this what if right here is probably going to be a little long, because I am going to kind of speed up the process, because I know that it's been taking a long time. Most of my series take a long time to end, so I'm gonna try to fix that. Also, guys, I want you guys to kind of like help me out as well, because I want you guys to tell me if like the what ifs you do enjoy them, and what I could do to make them better, in your personal opinions. I would also like other what ifers to maybe also give me a bit of advice, because I am a new what ifer. I've basically started it because I felt like it, and also because I wanted to see how well it would go if I actually did what if. So a little bit of this video is going to be a little scripted, because I wanted to try out if scripting would ever work for me as a type of way of preparing for my videos. Now, I chose scripting because it was kind of like the only thing I could kind of do the only thing I could think of that made other whatevers kind of better to me, that they had the videos prepared even before I had mine prepared. So, I mean, regardless of whatever I have to say now, which is I am terribly sorry. And I guess that's it. So let's go right into the video. So we see Naruto in a heated battle with his master, as he's in a heavy kenjutsu battle against his master, using multiple sword arts that his master had taught him throughout the journey. Naruto, he has his 3 Tomori Sharingan on and says, "We'll bring it on," then cracks his knuckles and blasts towards his master as he said, Uchiha style, two-headed dragon fireball jutsu, and he shoots it off. He gets hit, but during this, Naruto is getting ready to get ambushed. While he sees the area where he attacked his master, and he says, "Time stop," with his Rinnegan flaring, and he sees that the area where he hit his master had scales. He was like, Naruto not even noticing that his ability had wore off. He gets totally bodied. He gets his head cut off, but not really. It was his clone. And Naruto has his eyes wide open with his 3 Tomori Sharingan. If it wasn't for this, I'd be dead. His master was bloodlusted because of the attack, and he noticed that a shine of red were coming from his eyes at that moment. And he's like, time out. And his master is red and go back to the normal brown they were. Now we learn that this master's name is called Zangan, which means yeah. I'm gonna show you guys what it means later, because it's kind of gonna be important. So you guys don't even know, because this will make a little bit of sense. So Naruto says, "It seems like I still can't catch up to your speed." Now, comparing the speed of his master, it is a little comparable to the speed of the by Kage in his thunder form. I don't know how to remember the name of it, but I guess this is what I'm gonna call it for now. Now Naruto goes and decides, has the master stretch out his hand and pricks his hand and draws a circle with his blood. As he puts his hand, he says, "Summoning, beast, uh, beast summoning, beast summoning portal." And he summons a portal, and as Naruto jumps in, he says, "See you later," and Naruto makes his way inside. Now, if you guys remember, this is where Naruto went off to train. Remember when he went off to train in the Beast Dimension, as I like to call it. Naruto jumps off into the Beast Dimension as he has his sword ready, the back of his on his back. Now Naruto has Kisame um and the Executioner Blade. Naruto's trying to recover all the seven blades of the mist, because Naruto has been heavily, when I say heavily, I mean heavily interacted with the way that this works. As Naruto, wait, let me pause actually. Sorry for the interruption. My sister came into the room. It's like my whole entire family had a family reunion in the kitchen because I'm in the living room right now. But let's continue. So as Naruto makes his way inside, he notices that there's two beasts attacking themselves over a carcass which they had killed as food. Now Naruto takes out his sword and tries to slowly walk away as one of them, which is a tiger, but this supposed tiger is a magical beast. Like, if you think about a tiger times its size of 10 and has the ability to shoot off specific elemental jutsu, you have a magical beast. And this specific element was rock. So, this lion, or I mean tiger, I think. Yeah, tiger. Runs towards Naruto as Naruto is ready to hit him with a sword. As soon as this tiger pounces, it touches the floor. A huge earth spike comes up, and Naruto almost gets his whole entire body. It almost became a popsicle, basically. And Naruto slashes this earth spike and cuts the head off. As he's like, "Damn, that was close." As he doesn't notice the rhino coming at him. This is a carnivorous rhino, because that's the only thing you can eat here. As he gets rushed, let me pause. Now, sorry for the in the pause, I guess I like to say. Now, Naruto is overwhelmed as how close he was to dying, but the lion that was behind him pounces on him as Naruto cannot notice what's happening until his speed increasingly ups it, and Naruto slashes the head off the lion. Naruto looks up and sees the mountain that he fended off the monsters from, the Phoenix, and Naruto notices the Mama Phoenix still fending off monsters as the Mama Phoenix spots Naruto and rushes towards him as Naruto is ready for a warm welcome. And when I mean a warm welcome, I mean actual warm welcome. Naruto gets barraged by hugs and pecks of love, I guess? Now, Naruto makes his way up the mountain on top of the back of a phoenix. Naruto can notice the many monsters trying to get their way up, trying to eat the phoenix because they would grant them immortality and a great power boost. Now, Naruto uses his wood style to create a kind of barrier, I guess, and he tries to mix it with his chakra creation, which makes it excessively stronger. Almost most beasts can't destroy this unless there's ones that can use wood. Now Naruto creates this barrier, and the Mama Phoenix, I guess, sees him, and she agrees with him as she gives him a thing she was hiding in her own feeding cave. As both of them head inside, she points with her feathers towards a little box in the middle. Naruto opens this box, and there was a small rock
Now Naruto noticed this rock, but could feel the incredible chakra coming off this rock. Now Naruto would ask, "What's this?" As the Mama Phoenix and Naruto are talking telepathically, as she says, "It's a chakra rock, one made out of the souls of 50 magical beasts." And Naruto grabs his rock and starts shoveling it through his hands. And he says, "Do you know how to get more?" And the Mom Phoenix nods her head as she says, "You need to kill 50 of the magical beasts, as when you kill them, they will all drop a magical stone. Each magical stone has its own value, but the bigger the monster is, or the stronger the monster is, the more powerful this magical stone will be. Our magical stones are known to possess immortality and a huge power. We're strong enough to fend off at least 100 magical beasts at a time." Now Naruto's amazed as magical beast he can only take two at a time, and he looks up to the Phoenix as he asks, "Well, then let's go on a hunting spree." Naruto gets on the back of the Phoenix and is ready to go out riding as one of the hatchlings crack, and Naruto and she hears this as the cracking sound sounds like a bell, significating that the beast was about to be born, as they like to call it. They both are right up there, and the Mama Phoenix, it cracks, but all that comes out is ashes. And Naruto's like, "What happened? Did something kill it? Damn those monsters!" And Naruto starts to get mad because these phoenixes, I guess, were like his little brothers. I guess he protected them with everything he had. Now Naruto is soon to notice that this ash starts turning red as it starts creating a specific shape as it creates a bird, a vermilion bird. As its starting stage is called vermilion bird, and then it becomes a phoenix, a full-fledged phoenix. Now Naruto's like, "They're born from ashes?" She nods her head as she says, "Us phoenixes are different from other birds, as you could have noticed." And Naruto said, "Well then, are we gonna still go on the hunting spree?" She says yes, especially now that she needs nourishment for her babies. She makes her way on top. She no, he makes his way on top of the Mama Phoenix as they both fly into the sky. Naruto shooting off multiple attacks as he says, "Sword style, wind blade," as Naruto throws a giant wind scythe, I guess, towards the floor, towards many magical beasts trying to get through the wood barrier that Naruto put down. Most of them dying and throwing down stones as she goes down and grabs all of them up in her wings. Pause. After an eventful day, it becomes nighttime. Naruto has noticed that his sword style has improved. His wind sword style has become into God wind sword style, which, when I say sword style, you guys might notice that sounds a little bit like three sword style and stuff like that. But this is basically implementing chakra into your sword and basically using the sword to be kind of like a medium. And if you guys know what a medium is or have ever watched or heard of a medium in a scary movie or something like that, they're basically like turning point that connects the supernatural to the original, which means that Naruto uses his sword to connect his chakra to physical attacks. So basically, if you get attacked by Naruto and you put, let's say, fire, fire aspect chakra or something like that, and it hits you, you would be cut and you would be burned as well. That's kind of like the way it works. So I guess you guys know how that would work. Now Naruto decides that he would try to actually meditate. Now, what he means by meditating is bringing himself a peace of mind, we flash back to a specific moment where Naruto is talking to his master. The master looks at Naruto as they're both meditating on the floor. The master says, Naruto. Naruto opens one of his eyes and says, yes. I've noticed there's a lot of hate coming from you. And Naruto gets slightly embarrassed as he encloses his bloodlust, because meditating kind of brings out everything that is bad out of you and brings in the good. Or chakra meditating would do that. Now Naruto notices that it's, well, he doesn't notice, he knows his master is right. And the master asks for kind of like a backtrack, a flashback, as I would like to say. And Naruto starts to explain. I was a child. Me and my brother and my cousin, when Itachi was my brother, and Sasuke, who was my cousin. We were both playing outside as we remember that after playing outside, we went to school. We came back from school. We all felt ourselves as we got our first jutsu off. We graduated pre-K, I guess. We came back in. Everyone was dead. We came home as we saw Itachi cutting through my brother. No, not my brother. Sorry, I messed up. My mother and my father. Sasuke was with me. I tried to fight back. I tried to rebel, I guess. But my efforts were wasted. I couldn't kill Itachi. And I promised him on that day that I would kill him, even if it costed me in my life. Now the master shook. Didn't expect such a sob story coming from Naruto. He always thought he was that cool kid, or the one everyone liked. That's why at first he hesitated to teach him. Now Naruto, some of the bloodlust or anger that he felt at that moment started to seek out as the master could notice this. Not only did that start to seek out, but this forced the seal to slightly weaken, turning Kurama kind of rogue. This bloodlust, Kurama couldn't hold himself back, even with the intuitive of Hamura and Hoboromo. They didn't have the power over Nine Tails as they did in Naruto's mind. Sorry if you guys heard that. That was a motorcycle. Um, Naruto and Sasuke both. No, not Naruto and Sasuke. The master notices how hard past Naruto has had and kind of tries to take it off on him. Not tries to take off all this weight. He tries to be nice to him. He tries anything he can to make Naruto cheer up. Now notice, all this training is happening in the rate of 1 month. Now, I'm not saying Naruto got so strong in 1 month. This rate is basically a year. But because Naruto spent most of his training inside the Beast Dimension, time works differently there. Naruto could train for the rest of his life and he still would be the same age. But here's a drawback. If Naruto stays in there too long, he will lose all memory of the world. Nothing that he would ever had. He can only spend around 5 hours or so. Or no, actually not 5 hours. 5 days or so until a piece of his memory is taken from him. Sorry for the turn of the phone. I need to take off my rotation, actually. So, let's continue. Naruto is meditating as he has all the chakra rocks around him. As the Mama Phoenix is kind of guiding Naruto through the compression to making a grand chakra rock. And Naruto has basically around him 500 chakra. Wait, actually, let me think about this. Damn. Sorry guys, I was coughing for my sister. So that's 50. Yeah. So he has 450 chakra rocks around him. Now the Phoenix says, now, all you need to do is he grabs 50 chakra rocks instinctively and puts them into his hand. Now Naruto starts to use his own chakra to kind of put down a force on it. A force that would keep not only the chakra in, but it would also quantify it and make itself multiply through the rocks that are being compressed. Naruto starts compressing, and this takes around 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, Naruto opens his hand and sees a big rock. This rock, he can notice that a lot of chakra was emanating through it. Now Naruto noticed that not only was it a rock, but it was also a metal, or as I like to say, its properties could be changed. So Naruto decides to use his chakra creation to change the properties of the rock. Now, this, no matter what Naruto did, will cost him a lot and almost all his chakra, no matter how much chakra Naruto had. This is because changing the properties of something would be a little too OP for Naruto. I don't want to make this totally like God, not nigga, like, but I mean, I guess it is, but that's off the point. Naruto uses this, and the properties just changed, but Naruto is gasping. Now, whatever thing he would compress now would become metal, and only the chakra rocks would become metal. Now, Naruto does this for the next, I guess, 5 minutes times 10, 50 minutes. He does this for around an hour. Sorry, guys, I did mathematics in my head. Sorry if you guys have to hear that. Now, Naruto starts to grab these rocks and says, well, I'm sorry, but I think I have to go. My master's probably still waiting for me on the other side, and he'd probably want me to do something with these chakra rocks, and I just want to reach his guidance. But I promise you I'll come back. I'll even help you take care of my little brothers. And the Mama Phoenix kind of shies as he says this. Is like, she hugs him and says, uh, my big boy, as she kind of pets him on the head, and Naruto kind of hugs her, and then she feels the warmth he never felt, the warmth of a mother's hug, of a mother's love, something he hadn't felt in the past 7 years. Naruto was crying. The tears, he was crying into the feathers of a phoenix. Now, the phoenix wasn't crying, she was kind of confused. But she hugged him harder, as this must have triggered past trauma that he might have felt. So she tried to support him in all the ways she could. Now, Naruto decided to call her Lucy, or Mama Lucy. Now, she wouldn't call her Mama, but she would call him. He would call her Lucy. Sorry, I'm calling him she. Now, Naruto decides to make his way through the portal. Naruto goes back to the portal, and he kind of draws a blood circle. Now, this doesn't open the portal, but it signals that he's ready to get out, as the master draws the blood portal, and he is instantly transmitted out. Naruto has a pouch of fire dragon leather, and he shows it to his master and says, can you make a sword out of this? He drops it into his master's hand. He opens it as a rush of chakra hits him straight in the face. He reaches into the bag, ready to punch whatever was in there. And then he says, no, wait. As he's about to put his sword inside the bag to cut whatever was in there. As he says, just calmly grab what's in there and take it out. Now he takes that out and all he kind of plats it on the ground, like shaking it on the ground, and a bunch of rocks come out, and Naruto and the master can notice this is what hurt me, and Naruto nods his head and is like, "Could you make a sword out of it?" Now his master has been known to be a blacksmith as well. He was kind of the person who turned. No, actually, he was kind of the person who made his kendo sword. Now, this kendo sword was breakable, but at the same time, really, really, really strong, like really durable. Now, these next 2 days, which is basically around 2 months in the Beast world, he gets his sword. Now, this sword is a refined edge, stronger than the executioner's blade itself. Now Naruto decides to do something. Naruto heads home. On his bed, he opens a scroll. He pricks his hand, draws a seal of blood, and then he writes the same seal on both of the swords. Now both of the swords go into the scroll and come out as one. Naruto has just combined the executioner blade with the blade he made, which I don't know what to call it. So we're just gonna give it the name the Samurai Executioner, I guess, or the Samurai Blade, I guess. No, I mean that's normal. I mean just call it the Executioner Blade for now. Now Naruto does the exact same thing for Kisame, but Naruto's blood was infused with chakra. So Naruto writes down the thing, but the sword kind of drinks his blood, or not his blood, but the chakra coming out of it. As Naruto stops the chakra, but in an instant he snaps his fingers as a bunch of chakra rushes in, and before the sword could even absorb it, they both go into the scroll and come out as one. Now Naruto had 3 swords in one, 2 swords of the mist, and one a normal, just strong blade. Now Naruto runs his hand through it as he cuts his his hand, and it goes pretty deep, and he sees how sharp this blade is. Naruto um, tries to go outside and cut off a tree. This goes right through and almost right through the ground. Now Naruto's like, the sharpness. And let me just well, actually no, I don't think you need an explanation. Now, Naruto would notice that Kisame, even Kisame's blade, even though that the things on Kisame blade were kind of like quills, it kind of turns into scales. Now this was a special effect that the master put on the sword. Now guys, if you guys wanted to know what Zangan means, which is the master's name, it means Dragon Man. Now, if you guys would translate Dragon Man into a format in translator, I guess you would get long, I think. But I kind of translated long into English and I got Zangan. So basically I called him Zangan because it basically meant the same thing. Now Naruto called Master Zane for short. Master Zane or Old Man Zane and stuff like that. But Naruto mostly calls him Old Man Zane. Now Naruto makes his way back to the to his master, as his master has his own sword, and he rushes Naruto without any type of explanation. Now Naruto remembers that he shouldn't panic. Naruto was starting to panic as he activates his through Tomoe Sharingan. Now I know I said Naruto reached Mangekyo level, but I forgot that Mangekyo level was reached by seeing someone you loved. Now Naruto must have reached Mangekyo level at the start of his life, but I mean, not Sasuke didn't reach Mangekyo level, so I'm not gonna make Naruto. So I kind of forgot that little part of it. Now Naruto rushes, and the sword clashes with the other one. Naruto expecting him to break right through it. Now Naruto knows that this has some type of enforcement, as Naruto creates a little chakra creation of his own, as he says, chakra barrier. Kind of like rotation, but this instead of hurting someone, it protects you. Now the master swings at least 3 times at it before he destroys it. Now a bunch of smoke rushes out as Naruto has disappeared, and Naruto comes up from the ground and uppercuts his master. But this was there was a Chico, which is a Chikon, which is basically a after image. It goes right through him, and Naruto's about to get his head cut off. This was a clone, and it poofs as well. Naruto is right behind the master with a sword at his head and says, "Do you give up?" And the master says no, as Naruto is ready to make a little cut incision, I guess, on the master's cheek. As the master ducks and hits Naruto with his blade, the backhand of his blade, and Naruto goes flying into a tree. Now Naruto rushes towards his master, but his master was rushing towards him, so the momentum of his master and him clash as Naruto gets kneed into the stomach as Naruto gasps for breath. Naruto's like, and Naruto gets a sword put up to his face and says, "Do you surrender?" Yeah, yeah, just give me a second. Naruto taking deep and shallow breaths as his master lays him down and says, "Take a nap for now. I know you've been training hard." Now, a few weeks later, the last week of his stay with his master says, "Well, it's time for me to teach you ki." Now, Naruto's like, "Ki? Oh, is that what you use, I guess?" And the master nods as he says yes. Now, Naruto's kind of confused because he doesn't know what he is going to teach him. Now, Naruto gets a rush. Now, his master put a hand on Naruto's stomach as he's making a seal. I guess not a seal, kind of like a incantation of sorts, because you hear him talking and saying weird Japanese sounds. I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So Naruto has a rush ki in him, and this totally heals his body. But not only heals his body, but this also gives him a jump start. This jump starts Naruto's ki ability, as Naruto just got ki rushed into him. Now, Master cuts off of a bit of his finger, and as he tells Naruto, "Suck on it." And I know that might sound wrong, I know, but Naruto says no, and he's like, he grabs a bowl in the kitchen and puts blood in it. Now, a few hours of draining, Naruto patches up the finger, says, "Master, you shouldn't have done this. What the hell are you thinking? Naruto, go and drink the blood now." Naruto's like, "Fine, fine, don't be so aggressive." Naruto heads over to the bowl and drinks it. Now, Naruto gets in excruciating pain. Naruto starts to hear bones cracking. Naruto, Naruto starts to scream in pain. He says, "Old man Zane, old man Zane," as he runs towards Naruto. It's like, "Oh, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die." As Naruto, as we kind of go into Naruto's head as he's falling into water. Now, Hoguromo Hamurai, Indra and Ashira, and also Kurama in his little form. It's like, "Naruto!" As Naruto falls in the water. And then a gate closes. As old man Zane says, Sorry, I had to gone. As Old Man Zane says, well, this is the cost of learning ki. It's like, you should have told me. I could have done something. I lost them, didn't I? Yes, you've lost your chakra, Naruto. Naruto looks at his master with tears in his eyes. I've lost my family. Again. No. This can't be. I'm dreaming, right? This isn't happening. Probably in my bed right now. Oh, I should pinch myself. I should be waking up now. What the? Wake up, Naruto. This is not real. Naruto's kind of becoming completely insane as Naruto gets a slap across his head. Across his face, I meant. Now, Naruto's looking straight at his master with tears in his eyes and says, why did you do this? Master's Old Man Zane says, Naruto, let me tell you the truth of why I trained you. I'm dying. Now, I'm a Dragonborn. Dragonborn like us only live for around 200 years. And we have to pass on our power to another. Another one to suffer the curse of ki. Now Naruto is like, but what's the point of having ki? Naruto has stopped his whole entire talk with the master as Naruto heads into his room and shuts himself in it. Naruto spends all day long meditating. Naruto creates a ball in his mind, writes down all his troubles in the supposed ball and crumbles it up in pieces, and he puts it down. And lets it fall on the ground. Now Naruto is now a newer form Naruto. Naruto's back to his old self. As he comes outside and Naruto's master is having a tea on the table. And Naruto's like, I'm ready to continue the talk. A little bit angry, but at the same time not. Now, he says, so where I continued, we're Dragonborn. We can give our power to others. This will also make you a Dragonborn. You'll be able to live till 200 years. And I'm believing that if your belief of becoming the strongest ninja ever and rebuilding your clan will have so many dragons, we'll be able to fight against the Otsutsuki. They come after people like me. People possessing the power of ki. And Naruto says, Otsutsuki. Otsutsuki, bro. I forgot. Bro, the name of it is kind of hard to pronounce. Otsutsuki. I think that's the way you say it. Now Naruto. Sorry, I had to go. Naruto says, so now that I have this, what do I even do with it? Now, Naruto, well no, the master says, try to come at me. And Naruto's eyes flare as he tries to activate his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. But nothing happens. His eyes just kind of open widely, and Naruto's like, even my Kakarenkai. As Naruto says, well, let's do this the old-fashioned way. Naruto blasts towards his master as his new sword has kind of given him a little extra confidence, but Naruto's normal speed has been increased excessively. Noticing that when he's flying out of his body isn't the normal blue or red or orange chakra, but it's a white and black matter, I guess. And Naruto looks at the master, and the master says, see what I mean? As Naruto hits him with the back side of his sword. Now, Naruto gets up. No, not Naruto. This master gets up and says, "That kind of hurt, you know. You could kind of hold back." And Naruto's like, "Fine." And Naruto now has ki, but Naruto needs to learn how to master it. So over the next day, Naruto spends all his time making ki into his hands and everything. He tries to surround himself with ki, tries to envelop himself in ki, tries to spread ki around his whole entire body to be able to use it. Naruto learns how to spread his use ki um as an enhancement. Now Naruto learns the basics of ki. Now the next 2 days, Naruto spends on defensive ki as he creates ki to defend himself. Now, while defending himself, his master hits him with a blade as ki originally takes over the arm where he was about to get hit by the sword, and scales surround it. While the sword hits Naruto, and with all its strength, it breaks. Now Naruto. Sorry, I had to go on again. Naruto looks at his master and said, "So I was right. It was. I wasn't crazy. What I saw was right. I knew it." And now the master's like, "Damn, the time skip ability. I forgot. I shouldn't have been so reckless. I should have hidden it, like she told me to." And Naruto hears she, and he's like, "She? Yeah, my wife." Naruto notices that he had also had a tough future, so Naruto decides to cut it off on him, and Naruto decides to leave. Kind of like leave to see his family members and his wifeys or his girlfriend. And Naruto makes his way to Ino's house. His parents are out in the parents are out delivering flowers as Ino's in a room, kind of like picking flowers from her own personal garden. As Naruto hugs her from behind, puts his arms around her, and has his head over her neck. And Naruto sniffs her and says, "You smell like you always do, like that beautiful rose flower. It smells so good." And she starts to blush. She's like, "Naruto, I thought you said you wouldn't be back in months." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, I know I first said weeks, but the months thing was just 1 month, I guess." Sorry, I had to yawn again. Now Naruto says, "Yeah, I'm sorry for the that I didn't tell you before." Now, let's get right into it then. And Naruto looks at Ino. He doesn't say let's get right into it, but Naruto tells him everything about his training and how it had gone. And Naruto's like, and she's kind of amazed that he was able to survive all that. And she kisses Naruto, and Naruto and her are making out. As Ino's mom and dad walk through the door and say, "Yo, Ino, we got some new flowers." As her mom is blushing, is like, she's speechless. Is like, "A young man," and her mom kind of taps dad's mouth, and they kind of look at both of them, and they kind of look at them like with their eyes at the corner of their eye sockets, and they're like, um, and she Ino's mom taps her dad's mouth and closes the door, as you can hear both of them making out outside of the door. And like, I don't know if that was a good idea, as between saying that she gets kissed, and Naruto's like, "Sorry, I just couldn't hold myself back. Now, Naruto kind of makes his own direct relations, talks to her, everything such as that. And they both go out. They both go out for ramen. Naruto makes his way to ramen. And the ramen man, or as we know him, or as we know him, from Yuichiro Ramen, from normal Naruto, him. So basically, Naruto makes his way. It says, 2 ramen bowls, extra pork, please. And she's like, with like the way you like it. And Naruto's like, yeah, thank you. And they both get to work as Naruto is talking to Ino, and they're catching themselves back up of whatever happened. And Naruto sees Haku walking around, and Naruto kind of like slightly hides, kind of like puts his headband on and puts it over one eye, trying to seem like he was another shinobi. Now, Haku makes her way past, and Ino is looking at her like, Naruto, what's happening? And Naruto's like, nothing, nothing, nothing. Oh, look, the ramen are here. And they both start eating and finish catching up. As Naruto gets ready to make makes his way to Haku's house. He knocks on the door as Haku opens the door. Zabuza right behind her, both arguing about Naruto himself. And Zabuza says, speak of the devil. And Naruto's like, I don't think this is the right time. And then, before saying time, he gets cut off by Zabuza. It's like, come in, come in. With a grin on his face. And Naruto knows that he's about to get totally bodied by someone. And he won't fight back because he knows that if he fights back, he's about to get scolded by Haku. So guys, both of them catch up and everything and do the exact same thing, except they eat at home, and then Naruto and her do the exact same thing. And Naruto and her kind of lay in bed together after eating, and they both fall asleep. Haku with her arms around Naruto and with her head on Naruto's chest, as Naruto's caressing her hair, and she's looking up at Naruto, as both of them kiss for one last time, and Naruto falls asleep, and Haku falls asleep. Now, there's where I'm gonna leave it off for today, guys. Yeah, today's where I'm gonna leave it off. Now, before we reach 100, I'm gonna make one more video, I think, of this again, and I'm going to probably end it in the 100 subscriber special. So yeah, love you guys. Hope you guys liked the video. Please, like, if you guys want to, please leave that in a comment. I want to hear all of you guys, everything you think about the video. Please actually comment down below. Subscribe if you can, if you want to. If you don't think it's worth it, you can unsubscribe later. Catch you on the flip side. Wandering Swordsman signing out.